Alright, so no introductions needed. I'm here with the one and only Kevon. Thank you again for talking to 876Stream.
876Stream.
Alright, so we know owner, manager of Phoenix Academy, and Phoenix recently had a tour in Europe. Can you tell us a little bit more about what happened during that tour?
Well, each year we the establishment of your name and the player's name. You know, you cannot do it here in Jamaica, right? You have to, a lot of people send their players on trials, but in the 2 weeks of those trials, they usually don't perform well. And what happens is, in order to beat that, what we've done is every year we've had tours of Europe. So we've been to Belgium 1 year, next year went to Belgium and Germany, went to Spain, and now we went to England. And the idea behind it, because we understand that our players can't sign in England with a Jamaican passport.
Okay.
Until they've established their names.
Okay.
But what a lot of English clubs have is partner company clubs or partner sister clubs in mainland Europe where they send their players. So if we go and we dominate in England, then we would have raised attention, and then they'd say, hey, go to my club in Denmark, go to my club in Belgium, go to my club in Spain. And so
is that a similar route to the academy?
No, Leon was a different route. In that way we actually went and lived with the three players.
So it's totally.
Yeah, but Phoenix has gotten so big now that you cannot take a minor to go and stay indefinitely in a country across international borders when you're not your child. So the only way to actually do it the right way is to send the players to school in these said countries on exchange programs where they can actually learn the languages, adapt to the code, get a fair chance so that when they do turn 18, they actually can assimilate and do well, and they're already well known. But to do that, you have to, the biggest task is you have to face their best that they have in their country, and you have to win.
Right.
So we went to England, we played Colchester, we played Brentford, we played Reading, we played Sheffield United, we played we played Crystal Palace, the league champions of England U18, and we played Aston Villa, and we played several other teams. It was a tour that had maybe 11, 12 days and 10 games. So sometimes we played a game in the morning and a game in the evening.
So how did they manage that? Wasn't that probably too hectic of a schedule for them?
You ever watched Train the movie before?
Yes.
This is Sparta. This is Phoenix.
So that's how it train.
We train like that from day one. We train in morning and evening. We are physically machines.
Right.
We don't look at what Leon did the other day in 21 minutes. You think he was born like that? No, he was built like that. Leon is a machine. Phoenix is like that. But players who are Kevon Reed, who's dominated in Malta now. Kevon Reed was written off. He ran through a glass door, lacerated almost every part of his body. Told he probably wouldn't be walking good properly, much less training. I had him on the pitch training in 2 weeks after, stitches and all. And today he's dominated in the Maltese Premier League with Sirens. We call him Bagman. So what we did was we built those players to face any type of hardship, whether it is racism, whether it is ostracization, whether it is the cold, whether it is coaches not giving you a fair chance, whatever you think, to just overcome it.
So there's a more comprehensive program here, so it's not just about football, there's an education aspect to it.
Absolutely, and my sister, and Laura Butler, and Shelley McFarlane, Nicola Bickman, have been key players in that. They have developed the players, of course with my help, in terms of how to speak, how to carry yourself, moral and social responsibility, business etiquette. So when you look at Leon Bailey speaking today, if you go and rewind the tapes, because we tape every minute, you can see Leon Bailey at 7 years old.
Speaking the same way.
No, he could barely speak then.
Oh, really?
8 years old, better. 9-year-old interview, better. Until now, he's so comfortable in front of the camera.
Do you think
in any language, in about 6 languages.
Is that a problem? So if you compare someone who's been through Phoenix Academy versus someone who has not, do you think that's an issue with Jamaica, not just footballers, but sportsmen, young men and women, not being able to speak?
Absolutely. And the concept that we've had over the years is that we've pushed players through the school system. And the school system says you're there for an academic education. And football is an extracurricular activity. So the tools that you need to become a professional footballer, apart from just playing football, are never addressed. You know? Football is the highest paid sport in the world. And sports is the highest paid profession. So when I sent my sons or my players to school that want to be professional footballers, I send them to get a proper academic education to support their career choice of football. And that's a totally different thing, you know? So when you look at even what I believe we should have as a national academy, it should incorporate languages, public speaking and image projection, ambassadorship, dining etiquette, grooming. All of these things are key components that must be reinforced consistently. People say you can see a Phoenix player because he's complete. He can use both left and right foot. He can think both left and right side of the pitch. If you ever ask a Phoenix player, what's your favorite position? He's going to tell you. What's your best position? He's going to tell you. If he's a forward, he says, I play all 3 points of attack. Yeah, because he's forced to develop in that area. Because you go on a trial and you're a right winger, and the coach wants you to fail. Put your left wing. You're a midfielder, put your left back. You say you're right footed, put your left back. You see? But if you are complete, wherever he puts you, you're going to overcome. If you look at Leon is playing left wing, right wing, attacking wing, centre forward. Any one of those positions you put him in is deadly.
Yeah, he's able to perform well. And inside the Liverpool as well, he was playing left back. Right wing, left wing. So, but alright, so you talk about these traits with the Phoenix Academy players. How did that help them in the matches? Going back to the matches in England. So give us some score lines. They said they defeated Aston Villa 7-4.
They played Harbour Town and gave them 8-2.
Oh, okay.
Because they built it up. We took the teams that weren't as strong. They played Reading, beat them 5-3. They played.
And these are under 18 or 17?
Under 19s.
Under 19s, okay.
So then we played several teams, but the scores got bigger and bigger. So when we played Crystal Palace, we beat Crystal Palace by 5 goals to them. When we played Aston Villa, we beat them by 7 goals to 4.
Yeah.
Now that is a huge score line to score 7 goals against FA Cup champions. So for me, when I spoke with the technical director after, he was very impressed, and he said that the right winger and the attacking midfield caught his eye. He likes it, you know. Okay. So when we move into mainland Europe now with these players, and they play for a year or a season or two like Leon, and it's time for them to look at England. England already knows them.
Yeah.
You know, Sheffield was calling many times for several of our players. And these are players that is, funny enough, 5 of them were able to play in Jamaica's under 15.
Okay.
And they were not called.
Yeah. You know, we have a bit of a rift with JFF.
You're talking about that?
Yeah.
You're talking about that Dante Peralta.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I hear that in my lap.
The boy he's Leon's youngest brother. He's my stepson, or the son. and he's about to suffer the same ostracization that Kyle Butler did. And we all know, can see the damage that did to Kyle. Now, Dante is 6'2", 15 years old, super intelligent, plays with both feet too. I mean, I can show you where Sheffield is saying, wow. And he's playing against under 19s and he's 15. And Jamaica goes to the Dominican Republic and perform dismally in the under 15s. You know, so what I don't want to happen is the idea another Vin Blaine coming and saying, oh, he's ordinary, or he's no good, or to try and hide the players.
Right.
You know?
Looking at Phoenix Academy right now, are you satisfied or comfortable with where you guys are? So when you started out, you had a plan, you had a vision. Are you executing that plan right?
When I started out, I wanted to find a way for the boys to feed themselves. It was never about football. You see? When you do things, if you do it for the right reasons and you love it, then it will materialize. When I started out and lost my first son, couldn't find him, and started coaching Kyle and then Leon and Kevon, and each of these boys came, they brought challenges and problems. Leon had seen 8 people get shot in front of him. Kevon was from Common and there was a lot of gun issues with people in the area at the time, and he would have been in danger as a 9-year-old, so I took him into my home. Travis, similar problems, all of them. But when they came and they started living with me, I said, okay, but how am I going to feed these children? How am I going to get these children to have a life? And then I remember, give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. Teach him how to fish, you feed him for life. So I was able to feed the boys through what I knew. I was GM for Toshiba, graduated from BU, International Marketing, and I had a level of experience in sales, marketing, management, and at the same time, I was a very, very, very good footballer back then. So I said, let me teach them football, teach them how to know football, and then add a component to it that was missing, which is the off the field personality, the image. And people don't know this, but I was the biggest sponsor of the 1998 World Cup campaign. Yeah. I was the first to come up with the Adopt a Player program because of what I saw. You know, I could not stand to see a footballer being treated as if he was nothing, having to beg for bus fare to go home. You know, if I like a small change, and he's in a national team, yeah, or he's at a high school, and when he leaves the high school recruits another player, and they go on and they play another year of Money Cup and they win. And the ones who went 2-3 years before, they're nowhere. Yeah? So I said, let me develop a program that's going to get them boys to a level of professionalism, and we're going to. I started to go into it scientifically. Why were we only able to qualify for 1 month when we're the fastest human beings in the world? And the game has evolved into speed, yeah, transition, pressing, technique, speed.
You're not really using a lot of international team.
No, because speed can be, when you're naturally fast, it can be a positive and a negative. Because you get to believe that you can kick the ball long and he will outrun you, but that's not how it works. Because the easiest thing for a defender is when the opposing defender kicks the ball, he has a lot of time to react, intercept and play the ball. But if you can play the ball quickly, get into an attacking midfielder that understands to try and get the ball to the wingers for isolated one-on-ones, or through the striker into his stride on the ground, then you naturally run and even beat anybody. All we need to do is make sure shooting technique or ball control, skill sets Great. So, went to Europe,
Right.
learned all of that, brought it back. And today, Phoenix is world renowned.
Yeah, and a world renowned, and I wanted to touch on the fact, the image that we had discussed, I think a couple of weeks ago. Phoenix Academy is 19th in the world this year, in terms of the most lucrative agencies.
That's Phoenix Sportsman.
Phoenix Sportsman, right. So, explain that. Are you affiliated with that? Phoenix Sportsman? I don't know. That would be.
I'm the owner of Phoenix
Oh,
Sportsman.
so I don't know if it's the sports management is different from.
No, you have the academy that develops the players.
Right.
And you have the sports management that manages the players from the graduates of the academy.
So a separate branch.
Yeah, so it's separate, but it is also one and the same.
Okay.
You know, one is named to take care of the players.
Right.
So anything for Leon, his commercial side, his business side, is if you need a fork,
Right. Yeah.
yeah, making sure that he keeps in line and know what he's doing, promoting him, making sure that his when he reaches a level where he's now, that his views, what he wants to do in life, we are able to facilitate that, you know, and like we're about to go into a huge realm where Leon is concerned, you know, where his brand is going to be really leveraged.
How important is that? Building his brand.
It's key.
Yeah.
I've been building Leon's brand from Leon was a baby, he was a little boy, you know. Every day that social media that you saw going out about it, what is he doing?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in Austria at Reef
Yeah,
Complex.
exactly.
All of those things. I'm going to the biggest school, best school in Austria, HS Brody. Oh, I'm in Belgium, I'm going to KRC Genk, I'm going to training now. All those interviews, that was to build his brand so people knew about what he was about. The same for Kyle.
Right.
Yeah. What we're doing now, and what we've achieved now with Phoenix is that the brand of Phoenix has grown to a point where clubs respect us.
Yeah.
We call up and say, listen, I have a player I want to send on trial, and they say, where is he from? He said, Phoenix. You know, they're not going to say which Premier League club in Jamaica is he from. They're going to say, is he from Phoenix?
Yeah. Okay.
From Jamaica? Yes. We'll take it. Oh, I'm from a Premier League club in Jamaica. It's like, oh, send us a tape. Let us review it, and they have 100,000 tapes coming in from all over the world. What Phoenix did in terms of sales of players, transfer of players, and management of players was number 90 in the world from the sports management side.
Right.
Phoenix is ranked number 1 in the world as the number 1 privately owned football academy in the world.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and you know, people said, okay, well, what about IMG and all of these other ones and Dare to Dream and all that, and the one in Qatar? They said, well, they have beautiful fields, but what have they produced?
So what do you think is the difference between Phoenix and the rest of these?
Well, part of it is we have good raw material, and the other part is that we have a systematic developmental plan that is geared towards the strengths of our people. So when I'm developing players to be fast. I mean, when you look up at a Phoenix training session, you think it's a half of the training is like track training for boys chaps, because they're doing back to back 400 meters, back to back 200 meters. Form is important in training, technical running form. And then we're doing Belgian and Dutch skill sets. Yeah. Movement, tactical movement, how forwards should run, how wingers should run, taking on the players. I remember hearing Vin Blaine saying that I went to a training session of the national team, and it was true what he said, because I always do it. If they are displaying against Bayern Munich, and they're shouting to him, come on, take them on, them boy no good like you can destroy them, take them on! Yeah? Because that's my job, that's what I'm supposed to do. Yeah? I mean, as a manager and a trainer, that's what you're supposed to do. But to go and sit and be quiet, that's not me. That's not any good manager. George Mendes doesn't do that. Peter Zahavi doesn't do that. Mino Raiola doesn't do that. Yeah?
We all know what he said about the current national manager. Yeah, but so talking about Jeff. So you manage these players, all of the players, all of the young players.
All of them. But it's not just me. Phoenix is not Craig Butler.
Right.
That's what people think. Phoenix, Craig Butler. Craig Butler is the head of Phoenix.
Right.
But there's Edison Layton, owner of Max Unlimited. There is Kevon Jones, principal of Mona High School, academics. There is Shelley McFarlane and Nicola Bittner, administration and management. There is Laura Butler that does the whole etiquette and public speaking and all of those things. There's Casey, my daughter, who has been from 2 years old traveling the world, growing with all the players, growing with Leon, growing with Kyle.
And she knows.
Going to every sponsorship meeting from Trinity Lights.
Yes, you've been training her from
Yeah, Casey knows the top managers in the world. On speed dash, can call them if you want.
876Stream.